Aaliyah, their situation. They had a pact, pins and eyeballs, no matter what anyone said or if anyone stuck pins in their eyeballs, they would never tell about their relationship. Um, things like that.
See, I have to go back and re-look at these interviews. Okay, now Lisa Van Allen said Robert and Aaliyah allegedly had a pact not to tell anyone, not anyone. But he all of a sudden told you. He wasn't and he didn't tell anybody. But he told Lisa Van Allen. Let me move on.
So you're back in a relationship with R. Kelly, and I mean he's essentially supporting you and your daughter now.
Yes.
Okay.
My hustle was to tape people doing shows, and nobody had really seen themselves on the videotape, so I was taping them and selling them the tape. My hustle was to tape people doing shows, and nobody had really seen themselves on the videotape, so I was taping them and selling them the tape.
At what point did you start going through his tapes and start finding some of the various tapes?
That was back in either 99 or 2000.
So that was before you actually moved?
Yes.
And came back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because at one point you actually started taking some of the tapes.
I just took one.
You took one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The one
that you were in?
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was in multiple,
in.
But I found that I just ran across one that I was in.
Okay. And why did you take that one particular tape when there's a whole bunch of tapes with you?
Just only one I was able to run into at that moment. If I would have seen more with me on them, I would have took those two.
Okay. And the tape that ultimately, came out in court later, was that one of the tapes that you saw during that time?
No, the one that came out in court is not. The people on the tape, I recognize them, but no, that wasn't one of the tapes that I looked at.
Okay. I mean, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but, in that particular tape, there's like urination and stuff like that. Were you doing any of that stuff with him yourself or no?
No, he actually did ask me about urinating on me, on my butt. And I told him, I didn't tell him anything, actually. I just kind of laughed it off and was like, kind of like that. So he has a way of kind of fishing for what he can and can't do and to you and things like that. So when he saw that I didn't just right away agree with it, then he knew that wasn't nothing I was interested in doing. So it never came up again.
Okay. But you went ahead and stole this tape and then you gave it to one of his artists? Yes. Can you say who that was?
Yeah, his name was Keith. It was when he was in his group Talent. It was actually, they became friends of mine because they were staying in one of the same hotels that I had a room in. And Rob would give them only $25 to eat with. This is what they told me. And they would see me ordering all this room service and stuff, like if they walk by the hallway and see my trays, out in the hall and stuff. And they were, I said, well, I can order y'all food. So that's how we got cool. So I would just order them food all the time. And, that's how we became cool.
Okay. So now you have this tape. You gave it to one of his artists to hold. And this is before the charges and everything?
Yes. Well, he had actually it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Okay. And at one point he finds out that you took that tape.
Yeah, he did. He found out.
And how did that go?
That was in 2007. Yeah, he found out about it. And he actually asked me to come to Chicago. And I came to Chicago. We talked about it. He asked me, did I think I could get possession of it? And I told him I did. And I actually spoke with Keith and got him to come to Chicago with the tape.
Okay. So I guess Kelly's lawyers said that you tried to get $300,000 for that tape.
Yeah, no. We didn't try to get anything for anything.
Okay,
no,
so
he actually, he did give them money for the tape, but he gave them, it was his idea. He said, I will give you $250,000 for the tape. So it wasn't, they didn't say, oh, if you give me, I have this, and if you want it, you get, no, they didn't even want to deal with him. They didn't want to talk to him. They didn't want to give him the tape, nothing. So no, it wasn't anything like that.
Okay, but you just offered him $250,000. So
yeah, he did. He offered them, but they'd be. Wouldn't you take it if somebody offered you some money?
No,
that's not blackmail if you offered it.
Okay. And
So,
were you involved in that financial transaction? Did you get part of that money?
I was involved in it, yes, because I was the one who had to convince them to come. I was the one who had to go get the lie detector test done, things like that. So yes, I was.
Okay. And can you say how much you got out of that?
It ended up being, because it was several trips, I had to take 100,000.
Okay, so you got 100 and Keith got 150.
He ended up with 100 as well.
Okay.
50 never came for no one.
Okay, so each of you got 100,000
in the end. Yeah.
In the end. Now at this point, are you and R.Kelly kind of enemies from that whole transaction?
Oh, we weren't until Daryl McDavid threatened my life and said that we should have murked you from the beginning.
And who was that?
Daryl McDavid. He was his accountant / manager at the time.
Okay, so he threatened to kill you over that.
Yeah.
Did anything actually happen?
What do you mean?
Were you roughed up? Did people show up at your house, or was it just kind of just a vocal threat?
Yeah, it was just a vocal threat. It was a vocal, but that's all I need. I don't know. I'm not gonna call his bluff.
Okay. So you guys get him that tape back. Did Keith make copies of it before giving it back?
They did. That's why we ended up having to come back multiple times, because when we took the lie detector test the first time, he failed. The question was, were there more copies? And I guess he said no, and there were. So that was a whole nother trip to come back. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Lie detector test for a transaction. I guess when you're talking about this type of thing, then yeah, you got to cover your bases.
Right.
Okay. So that tape gets back to R.Kelly and the copies get destroyed. Does that tape ever surface or come out afterwards or no?
I'm really not sure at this point. There's some things floating around. We're really not sure what it is at the moment right now. So I really can't say, honestly. We're still trying to get to the bottom of some stuff.
Lord, y'all, I know this clip here is long, but I want to break something down to you guys, because the prosecutors says again that Robert is this notorious crime lord that will do bodily harm to a person. So we have Lisa Van Allen. She claimed that she was 17. She said she remembered because she was thinking about Tupac and his death. She was at the Home Alone. Okay, let's break this down. Tupac died in 1996. Home Alone was, I think when I looked it up, I said, when was Home Alone put out? 1998. Some people said it was 1997, but she said Tupac 1996. But 1998. If you look at her date of birth, she would have been 18 years of age. But in Chicago statute, the age of consent is 17, but she was 18, allegedly. Let's just say alleged on theirs. Okay, so when they say that Robert is this person of doing harm to a person, this lady claimed to steal his personal tapes. She claims to have blackmailed him, because that's exactly what you did, Lisa Van Allen. You extortion and blackmail. Okay. She said that she's saying that she met up with Robert. So if she met up with Robert, she wasn't in fear of Robert. She saw how easy it was to get money from Robert. I'm just trying to go there. I'm going by what they're saying here. We know what and what in this situation, but I'm trying to help the prosecutors. Okay. So Lisa goes back into his home. She stated that she was with him until 2007. The trial was in 2008. So she didn't feel threatened. She went in with her daughter, which I know from doing my, I'll just say allegedly, her second baby father, Yul Brown, took over this extortion from Yul, Yul Brown took over. That's the second baby daddy about Lisa Van Allen. And so you have Pryor. You have Pryor, her first child's father, was part of this extortion. That's the reason why he was going in 2008 to talk against Lisa, because Lisa, I guess, reneged on their agreement with her first baby father. And so, of course, the con man, Yul Brown, tell Lisa, go back into his home and see what else you can get, see what else we can frame him with, and things like that. So Lisa's back in the home. She stealing tapes and she's stealing Rolex watches. No broken ass arms, no black eyes. He did not beat the hell out of her or anything like that. So I need these prosecutors to explain to me, where do they see Robert, this notorious crime lord that's going to do bodily harm to anyone? That's the reason why I want to show this. She talking about tapes, all these new tapes and stuff like that. It's a hot mess with Lisa. So I see why the prosecutors took her ass out of there. I see why they took her out. We got to take her out of there quick as hell, because the lioness ass person I ever seen in my life. And she said that she had to go back a second time after they had a polygraph test. So if she was in danger, she felt she was in danger. Now, she said that Darren McDavis threatened her, but she wasn't too much of fear to go back for that freaking money. She wasn't too much in fear to go back the second time, because she claimed that they took a lie detector test and they failed, and she had to go back again. So I'm trying to figure this out with Lisa, because she said she was with Robert in 1997. She said she ended it with Robert in 2007. She claimed that this man is a child molester, but you go back into the home hungry and starved out, and you said you wouldn't take your child there, but you went back with your daughter into the home of Robert Sylvester Kelly after you extorted him, blackmailed him, and things like that. So I'm going to say this. Darren McDavis did all this stuff without the knowledge of Robert Sylvester Kelly. He didn't know anything about that. Would you let a female like that come back in your house after she done extorted you? Really? Come on, just go back. I need y'all. You have to, in order to understand stuff, you got to go back and listen to these people over and over again. You can miss one word that can be important. Just go back and listen and listen and listen, and chime in and let me know what you missed the first time hearing this that she said. This is not the whole clip. I will leave the information down below so you can click on. Y'all make sure y'all put a thumbs up with these bloggers for their interviews. So once again, who's in fear? The employees in fear. You got his group helping out because they're upset because they ain't making the kind of money Robert's making. They didn't put in the work. They need to understand that. I'm gonna throw that in there as well. But this tape, and Lisa saying she went back multiple times. Once again, crime lord. He's a crime lord, mafia, gangster, thug. I know I'm going on and on with this. I know it might be a little long. Just chop it off and come back and look at the rest. But I just need to break this down to you guys and to these prosecutors to let them know, please give me the evidence. Because I hope you're not talking about no he say, she say type crap. Show me some x-rays of some broken arms. Show me some arrest records of Robert being arrested for breaking somebody's arm, for violating him or crossing the line with him. Show me something. Cause this he say, she say, and I'm gonna just throw anything out there to these people. Cause I want to win. Don't work here. It doesn't work here at all.
Were you at the initial screening when the gun threat came in?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Was that actually scary for you, or was it kind of like, okay, this is just some R.Kelly bullshit once again?
Um, we were kind of surprised. I can't say I was really scared, honestly.
So this was not too long ago. So did anybody run to the hills which come at their help? Did they go hide in fear? Did they say, listen, this man is so dangerous, I don't want to participate? He put a gun threat, some said bomb threat, and I don't want no parties. He is dangerous. I'm telling you guys, he is dangerous. She said, no, I was not. Let's carry on.
So you're back in a relationship with R.Kelly, and I mean, he's essentially supporting you and your daughter now.
Yes.
Okay. Of even bringing their young daughters in the vicinity of someone of an R.Kelly with this type of established, reputation.
Well, me personally, I wouldn't send my daughter.
So you're back in a relationship with R.Kelly, and I mean, he's essentially supporting you and your daughter now.
Yes.
Okay.
A man they claimed is a child molester. A man they claimed that forces things. This lady went there with her daughter. This lady said that, he has a way of fishing to see how far you go. And if you don't go and you don't want to do it or participate, he just don't even bring it up anymore. So I just rest my case on that part. Let's move on.
From what
That's what I'm saying.
Right. From what I've heard, because I've spoken to the Savages and they're really good friends of mine.
Can someone just let me know down in the comment section, like, do you see what I see? She's from Minnesota. She moved to Atlanta, Georgia. She's friends with the Savages. It's just all these people just connect in some kind of way. They Baltimore's and Atlanta's and Minnesota's and just let me move on.
I think the fathers thought that they had more control than they did. And that's ultimately what happened. They thought that they could control the situation and always be there.
Wait a minute. They thought they had control of the situation. I thought they said the damn kids was kidnapped. Now, okay, see, Lisa, you just said you friends with them Savages. So, okay, so they thought they had control. What they thought they had control of? I'm going to let my daughter date Robert Sylvester Kelly. I'm going to let my daughter go in and work with him, and she can date him once she turn 18. Because see, once he become my son-in-law, I'm going to be getting all kinds of stuff from his ass. Because see, my friend Lisa told me how easy it is and simple, how just friendly he is, and how easy it is to persuade him, and how easy it is to con him and get over him. And see, and Robert got tired. He's like, I'm sick of these daddies and these mamas calling me with their sex toy deals and all these type of deals. And I'm sick of this daddy Savage rushing me to make his daughter a star and booming her career as a musician. And I don't have time for this. I'm the king of R&B. And when I do stuff, it's a process. And you are not going to run me and rush me on nothing of my craft. And them daddies was mad as hell, so somebody had to make up some stuff and said that some kids was kidnapped. But it was women's up in there with Robert. But they said my kids, my young kids, underage, they kidnapped, hog-tied, all that, and made a whole mess and frenzy and circus out of this mess because they couldn't control Robert. They couldn't control him.
Can't get away from their image.
Yeah, but it's that double-edged sword. Like, I'm very clear. When he does well, we do well.
Right.
Yes, I buy the CDs when they come out.
Right.
I get the T-shirts. I go to the concert.
I know that's
yes,
real.
I do. But at the same time, I'm an individual.
Right.
So you feel like you're going uphill in roller skates because you're always proving I'm more than just an ex-wife. This show that we're doing, it's not so much about our exes and why they got divorced.
Right.
It's about why they married us in the first place.
Right. Are you? R.Kelly was asked about the moment that he thought maybe you two would break up, and he said when he was watching The Notebook, the movie The Notebook.
Oh, God.
You've got to tell us about this. Did
Girl,
you see
I
that
was
movie
like,
together?
Did he lose his mind?
Wait, they saw it
Because that's what I
together.
said.
We saw
the movie
and when you
together.
look at the correlation between when the movie came out and when we got divorced, it was like it took you 5 years to think about that. But that's just me. I'm just saying.
Right.
No, we saw the movie together, but at the end of the day, anybody, if you base your relationship and a marriage off of a movie, it's bound to fail.
Right.
It's movie, it's entertainment.
It's
That's
made
not
up, right.
real life. Unless you can figure out how to tell me to have babies, get rid of stretch marks, cook clean, be on tour, be a wife, drop people off at school, and deal with you and be happy in 2 hours, then that's the movie I want to see. Well, first of all, being a mom, I'm busy with my daughter, Ari Ray. I don't know if y'all know, but my baby daddy, R.Kelly, just dropped that new album. Yes, so
y'all go get that. Get that money. Everything.
Yes, but it's still true to who Drea Kelly is. She plays no games. Baby hair don't care.
What?
It's real.
That
it's
baby hair is on fleek too.
On fleek, honey. She will have it till the day she dies. It's enough having who your dad is. And now they were kind of used to me just being a mom, and now it's like your teachers come up to you and say, I love your mom on the show. So that's enough within itself.
And are you guys still cordial? You and
We have to be. We are. I mean, it's times when that eyebrow be tight, like, from. And then you have to go back to, you know what? This is the father of my children, and we have to compromise, and we have to make this work for them.
can you listen to his music?
Girl, I can't, honey. Girl, I don't play. He going on tour. Get the tickets. I'm gonna need you to buy T-shirts. Matter of fact, go twice. Yes, girl, I'm very clear. When he's good, his kids are good.
Wait a minute, Drea Lee. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Now, wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna just have to, let me see what kind of example I can use. Okay, I lost my mother. God rest her soul, in 2015. I was just devastated. I was hurt. It took me a long time. And it was fresh. 2015, it was fresh. So gradually, slowly but surely, I started getting over. The hurt and pain. Now I take it a little more easier, if you understand what I'm saying. Now this was fresh. This supposed to have been a fresh breakup. I was devastated. I was hog-tied. It's like vice versa here. Should the pain of what she's feeling and popped up all after this lifetime come up? Because, see, I'm just looking at it like this, you guys. See, Drea Lee, she, because that's why she try to keep the killing. I'm not finna let these people steal the spotlight from me. Because I had these babies by him and I was his wife. So let me add a little lie to this because I need the sympathy too. But all these platforms, and she said, I'm using this platform. How many platforms, Miss Drea Lee, that you were on that if he did all this stuff allegedly saying he has done to you during your marriage with him, why in the hell now and not then? Don't say I was afraid. I was afraid. If you look at her attitude, do you think a person like Drea Lee will allow somebody like Robert, which they say easygoing, will let him run over her? Would you? Do you think that? Look at the attitude this woman has. The snapping neck, baby hair don't care, wifey, ex-wifey. You know what I mean? I mean, just come on, like, from all this time, she had so many people, platforms she got on there to say that, you know, he hog-tied her and things like that. She said she wrote a book. Oh, no, it's not no tell-all book. You know, it's not, you know, it's nothing negative and things like that. Okay, she had a book. She didn't put in her book. He hog-tied me and did all this stuff to me. All these platforms she had way before these Lifetime of Lies. Had plenty of time if this guy was mistreating her. Now she all on stage, falling all at and all this stuff, saying he did all this stuff to her. If this man was a danger to you, and I don't want to hear the BS with these counselors and specialists getting up here talking about some kind of syndrome, because it wasn't no syndrome in nothing. I don't want to hear that either. There was no type of syndrome. Oh, well, she was, it's called a stay with my husband syndrome. And she just, you know, after divorce, she just put on the smiley face for her and her kids. And she just continued on to praise him because she was so much in love with him. And she was so afraid that this man would do some harm to her. So she had to continually get on there and lie. But she said she got away from him. She stayed at a shelter. They helped her out. They gave her the 15 signs of abuse. And so I'm going to stay away from this man. But she go to his concerts. She show up at his parties and birthday parties. I still say this, you guys. I still say this. The day she went to that party in 2015 and that man didn't pay her no attention at all when she came in there with her 2 entourage and her fur coat, along with Shunta McGee, and he wasn't paying attention to her. And you can listen to Drea Lee. If he can take care of 2 women, he can take care of his children. Hell, he was taking care of it till you march with mute R.Kelly, and then you looked at yourself and said, you dumb ass, I messed up because this man paid child support. This is his livelihood. Let me get back on here and change my story. And see, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Ooh, y'all, I'm going to end this because y'all know I could go on and on. This is a long one, so I just going to chop it down to a part 2. Oh, my goodness, Drea. Y'all need to stop it. Stop it. And the award go to all these liars and these schemes and scammers. But dear prosecutors, attorneys of the United States of America, I did this video to show you guys, or women, whoever you are, let's just say ladies and gentlemen, other prosecutors of the courts, that Robert Sylvester Kelly is no form of fashion, in no way doing bodily harm to anyone. Also, stop putting, social media into y'all motions, trying to blame Robert for everybody else's doing. It's not the American way. It's not the due process that he deserves, Robert Sylvester Kelly. And if you took an oath and you're working for the United States, you should uphold the laws of the land of due process and stop going all out the way for a win. Okay? Treat this like this would be your child, your family member. No amount of money in the world is worth your dignity into giving him the fair due process he deserves, which y'all have already deleted. But it's time to correct it. I mean, it's still time to correct it. So I'm going to end this, you guys. This is your girl, Texas Black Diamond. Thank you again for tuning in to Texas Black Diamond Entertainment. I want to thank Nick at Night for the great interview she has done with Demetrius Smith. You guys, please go over there, watch the full interview, and like, share, and subscribe to Nick at Night. That's my girl. I love her work, and I will see you on the next live.